where are they the rest of the time?
Right.
It takes a televised beating, huh?
Yeah, someone has to be stabbed.
Thank you. Do you have meetings, please?
Right downstairs.
Thank you.
I'm glad to see many residents here tonight. Your interest and engagement in what is happening in the community is extremely critical to ensuring that neighbors and visitors alike feel safe and welcome in our community. When citizens actively participate, CAPS plays a vital role in assisting law enforcement in fighting and reducing crime. Let me start off by noting that during the last several years, the 44th Ward has continued to build a reputation as one of the city's most popular entertainment areas and hospitality destinations. Visitors to the neighborhood may come from a few to thousands of miles away to enjoy our restaurants, entertainment bars, and sports venues. I firmly believe that because we are an entertainment destination, it is important that the police districts serving the 44th Ward have the number of officers assigned to them appropriate to the influx of people we see daily and nightly, and not just geared to the number of residents in our ward. It is unrealistic to expect beat officers to cover areas where there are high concentrations of entertainment and hospitality venues. That is why I proposed an entertainment detail to form to assist the beat officers that are doing a great job in our neighborhood. Unfortunately, at the same time that we've seen the number of people drawn to our neighborhoods increase dramatically because of budgetary constraints and hundreds of retirements in the last few years, the number of Chicago police officers on the streets citywide is estimated to have perhaps fallen 3,000 to 4,000 officers. That's not acceptable, but it's also a budget reality for all Chicagoans at this time. I requested that the 19th and 23rd police districts provide me an up-to-date information on exactly how many officers are on the street from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. every day of the week. If the number of officers appears to be insufficient, I want you to know that I will ask the command staff of the Chicago Police Department to do anything possible to get more officers on the street during the late hours and, of course, the early morning hours in our entertainment districts. The business community has hired off-duty officers to work those overnight hours on the weekends, and I will continue to work with these organizations to see if we have the right number of individuals working. And I do want to compliment the Halsted Street SSA and the North Business Alliance, North Halsted Business Alliance, for their efforts on reducing, and not reducing, but making safety on our streets paramount to the success of our district. It is also important to note that since I've been elected office, I've spent more than half of my infrastructure venue dollars each year to provide new residential street lighting to the 44th Ward, and most recently around the Halsted Street area. Our office facilitates hundreds of tree trims every year to help put more light on the streets. We work annually, as many of you know, with police walks and with our community organizations on providing safety seminars and actually midnight beat walks. Ironically, last Saturday we did have one of those midnight walks, basically 36 hours before the incident that we're going to talk about happened tonight. I've also been quoted by individuals online as saying that the most recent stabbing was an isolated incident, which is simply not an accurate quote. We have been dealing with late-night crime on our streets for years. As a victim of robbery myself, I understand everyone's concern, and I share. We all need to be aware of our surroundings and not be afraid to call 911 with as much information as possible when you see someone behaving suspiciously or committing a crime. We all must work with the police to effectively fight crime.
Can we sit up here?
I will leave.
There's no seats down there. They're putting us out of here. And you can't even stand. There's nowhere to stand, Tom. And there's plenty of seats up here. Why can't we sit up here?
For safety reasons, it's not occupiable space according to Board of Ed. So.
Children sit up here during the school year.
Okay. I will leave it to the commander and the team to brief you all on the recent incidents that have raised concern.
Thank you for your help, Tom.
I have been assured. I have been assured that they are unrelated to each other or to the highly reported mob attacks on the near north side. I'm happy to take questions. I will take them after Commander Bomer and her team have completed their remarks. And I do want to conclude that Commander Bomer and Commander Kenny and Deputy Rodner have done a great job. Talked about the overall resource problems in our city budgets, but I want to tell you that these fine officers that are here, we work with them on an ongoing basis, 365 days a year, and I want to give them a round of applause. Thank you, guys.
Assess the problem. Let's see what the issue actually is. And I know we're here because of the aggravated battery that was caught on film and released nationwide, worldwide. So we'll address that first. Yeah, it's a stabbing. Well, I'm sorry, I mean, police and what's called aggravated battery with a knife.
Murder.
Well, since I feel somewhat responsible for you all being here tonight, I'm John Cunningham and my partner Rob Shaw. We've actually lived on Halstead Street. We've lived on Halstead Street for 5 years, and our present location for 4 now. And these concerns of ours have been something that we've been addressing for quite some time. But regardless of what happens here tonight, I know many of you have different opinions, and that's great. That's fine. That's what this great country is all about. But the one thing I want you to remember: it takes a community. And when you leave here tonight, you can't rely on these folks to do everything for you. You need to go out there and be the eyes and ears. You need to help them out just as much as they are helping you. So anyway, with that, for the first 200 folks that came in, we were handing out flyers. We're putting together a police appreciation event to thank the tireless efforts of the 23rd District Police Force. If you're interested in contributing or helping out with that, please see either Rob or I after the event. We'd love to have everyone's participation. Thank you.
After we address the problem, what we're going to do is, as a community, we're going to work on community answers, police answers, and other situations where we can make this a better situation, okay?
Is there a way to raise the volume? There are lots of people in different corridors that cannot hear at all. And I think everybody has a right to hear what is going on.
My name is Greg Rathmel. I'm 30 years old. I moved here 5 years ago from Detroit, which kind of gives me an interesting outlook on all this. I ran a lot of this amongst a bunch of violence. And I worked tirelessly with the Detroit police to help solve this. That's it. I'm going to read from a prepared statement because this is not for solution, not a motion. Commander and Lord Alderman, thank you very much for spending the time to address this and the situation at hand. I am aware that Chicago versus Morales ties your hands in situations like these. Having a seemingly race-based application of law enforcement is unfair and per the Supreme Court of the United States is illegal. We have, however, altered our approach to this law and seen successes with it in the past. It is worth mentioning that said ordinance was not intended to vanquish minorities from affluent areas, but to protect minority communities from criminal activities. The Supreme Court majority opinion was based upon the scope of the ordinance, not racial aspects. Even dissenting opinions do not address any kind of racism. Many in this room are unaware of both Chicago v. Morales and the updated gang ordinance. So, if I may read it for all of you. Gang loitering shall be defined as remaining in any one place under circumstances that would warrant a reasonable person to believe that the purpose or effect of that behavior is to enable a criminal street gang to establish control over identifiable areas, to intimidate others from entering these areas, or to conceal illegal activities. I, as a reasonable person, believe that most of these gangs are in East Lakeview for the purposes of establishing control of said area by the means of intimidation, parenthetically denying the area to residents and business patrons. But overtly engaging in them. Underage drinking, consumption of marijuana, assault, and this is gang activity, not in the situation that you think. Pursuant to Chicago Police General Order G03-02-02, these gang members are already disregarding social control directives and often disregard verbal control, which, by your own definitions, escalates them to the level of passive resistors. I, as a concerned citizen, ask you to place North Halstead temporarily on the hotspot list as defined by General Order G00-02. Alderman, this may assist you in allocating the resources for the special beat that you are requesting from CTV. I believe this will serve as a vital measure so that everyone in East Lakeview can continue to enjoy a fun and safe environment. Lastly, Nixle and 911 systems to support these activities. Thank you very much for your time.